Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. I'm Wendy and welcome to my mobile home sweet home. I figured it was time to start getting a few projects taken care of around here. It's as fast as time goes by, I know it's going to happen. I'm going to fool around and then the next thing I know, summer's going to be over. And I've got a list of things I want to get accomplished around here this summer. So I need to get cracking. So I am going to start here in the kitchen. And today the project is, I don't know if I've ever shown you, but I have on my cupboards, I have that textured wallpaper. I'll move you a little closer so hopefully you can see it. And it's beadboard, which I just love the looks of it. That was one project I did in here that I'm just really pleased with. But the only problem with this stuff, if you've never worked with it, it's easy to work with. It's pre-pasted, so that means you have to get it wet and then apply it and then kind of squeegee all the extra paste and water and everything out of it, which if you've never used wallpaper, that probably doesn't sound too appealing, but it's actually kind of fun to do. And this project was just doing the fronts of my cupboards, so it was really easy, and the fronts of all three drawers that I have in my kitchen. So it was pretty easy, but the only problem with this wallpaper is it's not really super durable. It's really easy to get it for it to get marked up. If anything, like you could make a mark in it with your finger. You wouldn't even have to use your fingernail. If you press on it hard enough, well, I guess a finger wouldn't really do it, but you can definitely make a mark in it with a fingernail. And I don't know if you remember my cat Nemo that I had back when I first started my channel. He would, when he was in the kitchen begging for treats, he'd put his paws up on the counter and, yeah, so he left some claw marks in a couple of them. So I'm going to replace just one today, and I'll get to the other two later. We'll see how this one goes. To get that wallpaper off, I'm going to use my steamer, but this one, it just comes out in a shot like that. I really wanted to use my garment steamer because it has a wide opening, and so you can kind of do a larger area at one time. I thought the steamer would probably be the best way to go about getting this stuff off. We'll see how it works. And then I've got these scrapers. Well, that one's kind of narrow, but I've got these plastic ones too. And I just bought these at the Dollar Tree. Do you guys remember when I did my brick project in my living room, the faux brick? I used these for that spackle, so that's why they look like they've been through the ringer, but they still work, and they should work fine for this project because I don't want to gouge the wood underneath the wallpaper. I just want to kind of get in there and get it to peel off after I apply some steam to it. So let's see how this goes. I'm hoping that this steamer will do the trick. I just cannot imagine what I did with my garment steamer. I have a sneaking suspicion it's at my daughter's house. But I can't remember, so I'll have to ask her. But I really wish I could find... I mean, how do you lose something like that? Seriously. So that's what leads me to believe that it's just not here, because I can't find it. So we'll see what happens. Here we go. Okay, I've only got a few inches of water in the tub because you don't need much, but I'm just gonna lay this in here, submerge it in the water. Make sure it's all, because that paste is on the back of this. And we're going to stand here and let it drip. Now this, you've got to really be careful at this stage because it's very easily torn. And that is not what you want to have happen. So now we make a run for the kitchen. Okay, I've got my paper applied. Obviously, cut this piece of wallpaper to fit on my cupboard door with a couple extra inches to spare so that I've, got room to make sure I get nice good lines on it. Now there's the hinge to the door, so I want to make sure it's snug down. Here's my right edge. There's the other hinge. So now we're going to let this dry. And then we'll come back with a razor knife. Okay, I just checked my wallpaper and it's nice and dry. It's been pretty warm today, so it dried fairly quickly. But I had planned to wait till tomorrow to make extra sure that it was completely dry because I had told you earlier that if you try to trim it when it's wet, it will tear, and that will pretty much ruin your whole project. Ask me how I know. I did that once, so yeah, it was not a pleasant experience. So I always have to learn the hard way. But it's dry now, so I'm going to go ahead and trim it off. So I'm happy I didn't have to wait till tomorrow because I would really like to get this buttoned up before the end of the day. So let's go ahead and get this trimmed up. I use is called linen. It's the color that is on all the other cupboards. So it's pretty much the color that the paper already is, but I'll probably do 2 or 3 coats just to give it a good layer of protection. And then after that paint dries, and then I'll put a polyacrylic sealer on it. And then the last step will be to put the knob back on the cupboard door, and this will all be done. So here we are now at the next step, which is to paint. Okay, so here we are at the next day, and it's all completely dried. Well, it was dry last night when I trimmed it up, but now it is ready to be painted. So that's what I'm going to do now, is put a couple, 3 coats of paint on that, and then I'm going to let it totally dry, and then I'll apply the polyacrylic to seal it really good. I usually do at least 2 coats on that. Really, 3 would probably be ideal, but we'll just see how we'll see how it goes, how much patience I have. So let's get to painting and get this done. the final coat has been put on, and it's now time to put the knob on. I've already kind of got it poking through the back side. I had to cut a little tiny piece of the textured wallpaper out of the way so I can get the screw to come through. So I'll just get this screwed on here and it will be done. Okay, and that is it. I hope you enjoyed this project, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks for stopping by, you guys.